Because it was Tasha, you're next. Let's go to the hospital. She may be at
Okay,
work today.
sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Sorry, okay.
Uh,
I'm still here. They counted
Thank you.
us in ledgers, but never counted our dreams. They measured our labor, but never measured our worth. They sold our bodies, but could not sell our souls. Through fields and fires, through sorrow and song, through generations yet unborn, we endured. And because they endured, we are here, still learning, still building, still remembering, still becoming.
Thank you. And now we have a prayer from Cousin Eleanor, if she doesn't mind.
Yes, pray with me, please. Most holy and all wise God, we bow in humble submission to your will, and we know that you are with us every step of the way. We pause just to give you thanks, Lord God. We pause to give you praise because we know it is you, Lord. It is you who walked with our forefathers every step of the way. For those who came and did not know where they were going, who would long for family, who would long for home, and said, how do I get back? What do I do? Knowing all the same time, though, that they were filled with the faith that they brought with them, Lord God. And we are so thankful that they never forgot you. We thank you, Lord, for being with them. And we pray that you will continue in our own lives because we are so thankful that they taught us the way. We are so thankful that they taught us the way. Be with us now, Lord, as we go forward in each and every one of us in our lives because we want to live for you. We want to let our light shine so that we will not be seen, but that you will be seen, Lord God. We thank you for these things and ask it all in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Cousin Susie.
Amen.
Family reflection. As members of the Hairston family, we represent many branches, many stories, and many experiences. Some descend from those who own land, some descend from those who worked it, some descend from both. Yet today we gather as one family, united not by the divisions of the past, but by the shared responsibility of preserving the truth and honoring every ancestor whose life contributed to our existence. The greatest tribute we can offer them is to know their names, tell their stories, and pass them forward.
As we continue our homecoming gathering tonight, let us remember that Juneteenth is not only a celebration of freedom received, it is a celebration of freedom sustained. May we honor our ancestors by telling their stories, strengthening our families, and ensuring that future generations will know where they came from and why it matters. Happy Juneteenth and welcome home, Hairston family.
Thank you all so much for this great little program. China was saying, we got to do something for June. And I said, you're right, China, we do. So we did a little program for that. We have a great host today, presenter today. We always do. Uh, China, who's in Martinsville, Virginia. And she's going to share. Also, to our guests who are here, know that this is your platform. No one owns it. It's all about together. If you want to jump in, as long as you do it respectfully and say, hey, can you tell us more about so and so? Please do so. Just do it respectfully, and we don't mind. Or ask questions or add comments because we're all learning together. What I do love about this group is, can you imagine the education level in this room? At all levels, it's just a blessing from God. So thank you. And now, Cousin China, it is now your turn. It is your floor.
Hey, cousins. Can y'all hear me good?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Well, I hope everybody had a great weekend and, of course, a awesome Juneteenth. All right, let me go ahead and get this up. Let's see. You got to let me be able to screen share. And I have some awesome news for y'all.
In a minute, I
I
will do
was
that.
invited. I was invited to join the Martinsville Henry County chapter of the NAACP over the weekend. Got acknowledged by the mayor for the work that I've been doing in city. And today I was surprised with a article in the Henry County newspaper as well as the Martinsville front page, in both front page. So I'm going to share that with y'all too sometime today. All
Well,
right.
congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
congratulations.
Because
You're
like
welcome.
like I
Happy to
told
share
everyone
this.
Wonderful.
before,
Wonderful.
okay. Like I told everyone before, I just have a love of just researching my lines. I do not claim to be a historian or anything. It just led to being able to teach. A lot of people apparently does not know a lot. So I'm just motivated to be able to share the history tied to Martinsville, Henry County, and surrounding areas. All right, let's see. Entire screen. Okay, can y'all see that?
Yes, we can.
Now we can.
All right. All right, and if I talk too fast, y'all just let me know. I talk real fast and I'm country. I'm trying to learn how to slow things down, okay? All right. Legacy in motion, bridging 250 years of history. History survives because someone chooses to carry it forward. All right, so what I have right here is I don't know if anyone has seen these photos, but these are actual slave photos from the Hairston plantations in this area. So I'll let y'all, look at the faces and everything for a second. But just think about it. What would happen if every photograph of your family disappeared tonight? And if they never showed this, we would never be able to see the struggles or the resilience of our lives. Now, what if every document disappeared too? No birth certificates, no census records, no deeds, no newspapers. How would your descendants know that you even existed? All right, so why does preservation matters? Every family has a story. Many stories were never written down. Enslaved ancestors often left limited records. Preservation projects, I mean, sorry, preservation protects identities from being lost. So without preservation, entire generations can disappear from memory. Now, does anyone have any stories that they would like to share at the beginning of this? Maybe anything that you might have heard about Martinsville, Henry County, and surrounding areas that I might can verify or not, before we get into everything. I'm giving you guys a
I
chance.
do.
Try to be a little interactive today.
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. Well, first of all, my great grandfather was born in Martinsville,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a Red. I
Haha.
Yes, exactly. So I went to the Fahey. I went
Okay.
there with Bud, with Beverly Milner,
Oh, I got
and
something for you today from him. Go ahead.
but so I went there and I saw pictures, and I sent this to Spencer. But I have a
Mm-hmm.
picture of my aunt. So my father, first of all, was born in 1922. Okay, my mother was born in 1916. Okay, my aunt was older than either of them, but she was very pretty lady, and I showed them a picture, and then they showed me a picture of Nancy Red. And honest to
Mm-hmm.
goodness, they looked like they could be sisters, even though Nancy Red was born in 1981. And I was
Hmm.
like, this is crazy. So I know that my Reds came from those same people. But all I know
Yes.
about my great grandfather is that at one time he was working for the Graveleys in a tobacco factory, because when slavery ended, he was 12 years old. And he went on to become an alderman, and he was part of I can't remember what it's called. There were 10 of them. It's like the Cleveland, because he lived in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was
Oh
the
wow.
Cleveland
My family's
Association,
from.
really. The
Yes. And they're tied to him.
Cleveland Association of Colored Men, along with Garrett Morgan and a few
Mm-hmm.
other people. So he was important, but somehow his story got lost along the way. And I know he has brothers and sisters, so I'm trying to find out, other than two brothers, he had four other siblings, and I'm trying to find out they are still people there in Martinsville from that red line.
Okay, so I'm so excited to tell you this. Okay, so this is a little embarrassing, but everyone knows how our lines tie back to Martinsville, Henry County. So just imagine if the people that lives here start intertwining, it's more connected. So me and my children's father, I have four children by him. I started looking at his lines because, of course, we find out that we are close kin maybe like 6, 7 times. So he is a man's, but he comes from his Hairston and red lines actually intertwine. So if you get with me, I might can be able to pull up a certain census or anything because I've already been looking at those lines. A lot of them stem from a line, John Red and Mariah Hairston.
Okay, I was going to tell you that. So my Red was John William Red. John William
Okay.
Red was a child of Keziah. Keziah apparently was a child of Mariah. So,
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, okay, I'm going to tell you this too. So I'm going to go in a little bit with that with my own family lines. But what I will say is that when I talked last time and I was telling y'all that I'm beginning to see a method that I call the name shuffle method. Depending on where they lived or, what census taker did what or what they owned, anything like that, or what wife they was with at the time. Because as we know, kids were, everywhere. I even seen with my own lines where you see how his middle name was William.
Yes.
That could have been Williams. So the Williams was connected with all of those same lines as well because it was prominent families here in the area. So I see that a lot. So I would really, really would love to get with you because I could show you the variation of him through my children's father's lines. So depending on what line that you go in, it could be the same line. But if you go down it another way, it could open up a whole nother identity of these families.
Well, here's the fun part. I looked and looked for him before like the 1880s. And I finally found him in 1870. And the only reason I know he was working at the tobacco factory was because he was on a list, a long list of people. And on that form, it said John Red Hairston.
I like it. So you see how he put his wife's maiden name.
No, he was a child. He was a child.
Oh, wow.
He
Okay,
was a
you know
child.
what? I'll be able. Okay, I wait till we go down into the presentation so I can show you something. So they could have been intertwined as far as being close kin too. A lot of my lines with these prominent, every single last one of my lines are close kin. Every single last one of my lines are close kin, all the way down to my third great grandparents. But it brings in multiple lines, so that's how I'm able to see different identities of them, different last names. It could be the same list of kids and parents. Each document that I see, it was the last name, tied to them. But I do want to tell you this real quick. There is a elementary school called John Red too. All right. And please get with me because I would love to show you some more. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Joanne, and I am not a Hairston as far as I know, but my family married with the Hairstons in Martinsville. And has anybody ever known her name was Hattie Maria Hairston, and she was born in Martinsville in 1894. Her parents were Peter Hairston, and her mother either was Lucretia, Letitia Anderson Hairston, and then she married my great uncle Robert Smith who was from Pennsylvania County.
Yeah, so my family is from Pennsylvania. Well, what I was explaining earlier before, Pennsylvania County, Henry County, Martinsville, all of that is like 5-10 minutes apart. So it's all just one huge area. Now I know all of those lines as well. I know every single last. I know every name that you just said.
Okay.
Now, if you want to get with me too, we can, so I can know like what specific questions or anything that you have. I would love to help. I see them tied to different people as well. I'm a Smith too.
Are you? Well,
Yes, I'm a
it's a
Smith as
common
well.
name.
Yeah, so I know I have a lot of different lines in me. It's crazy. That's why they did the article on me. Anybody else? And I will put my email in the comments once I can't see this on my screen.
Well, I know what her husband actually, Robert Smith, worked as a baker in Martinsville, according to some of the census records I have.
Oh wow!
And
Around what era?
they had a daughter, Marguerite Smith, who I met. She was one of
Margaret
the
Smith.
last surviving grandchildren. She died in 2016 of
Oh
my
wow!
great grandparents. There are only two left.
See, I don't know my Smith lines. Well, I know some of them, but I don't know too many of them. Like to remember their faces and stuff. I would just know like from lines. It. Let me see. My grandma, her great grandparents were Smiths. I think her great grandma's maiden name was Smith. But the Smiths is tied in real closely with the Harris lines, the Hairstons, the Finneys. I mean, they're all interconnected. It's crazy. I would love to continue showing y'all what I see. And don't say that you're not a Hairston, because my family said that we want Hairstons. We was totally against it all my life. I didn't learn until a year ago that I am a Hairston on every single last one of my lines.
You know,
All right. Anybody else?
you mentioned Robert Harrison. My uncle David Harrison, father was Robert Harrison, who was born in Walnut Cove. But then they moved to Martinsville, West Virginia, and then from there they went to McKeesport. And then my uncle moved to Philadelphia.
Hmm. That's crazy how everybody has the same like migration patterns, or they was back and forth a whole lot too. Um, I'm gonna tell you what's it was kind of crazy about that. Uh, my family kind of went through that same like they went through that same migration pattern. It just made me think. Is anybody else? Y'all heard what she said, Kingsport, and as far as Philadelphia, anybody else see their Harrison lines going towards that?
Yes.
Yes.
And also, her uncle was a part of the Harrison Union and the Hebrew Cemetery.
Oh wow. Oh, and let me say, Walnut Cove. Spencer just recently told me that that was near Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Mhm.
My own lines that I know that lived in that area of Winston-Salem, actually, I found them to come towards the Henry County way, and they were Jones and Preston's, but they were intertwined very deeply with the Dillards and the Harrisons.
Yep.
Very close by. One of these
This.
happening in West Salem real fast is the tobacco and industry took off,
Mhm.
and the textiles did. So people from Stokes County, Rockingham, and Henry County heavily moved into this area because of that, like
Mhm.
1880s forward to like 1930, and for the schools also.
Maybe
Yes.
we
This
should
is
do a Zoom just about migration routes one day.
exactly. This is Dana Dalton from Warner Cove, and yes, the
Yes,
Hairston in Warner Cove and Martinsville, all up and through there, very close, but they
That would be
just don't
great to
know how
start
close.
documenting that.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else before I continue to the next slide? All right. Mhm. All right. So the first archive, everybody knows, oral history. Ancestors telling stories, family traditions, church elders, names passed down, community memories, family secrets. Without preservation, entire generations can disappear from memory. Now, does anybody have any kind of, it could be anything. It could be herbal remedies. It could be a specific story. Now, I know my family lines have a lot of oral history that was passed down. Before I even looked in my lines, I found out that we were Haitian. I have not deep dived into that yet, but I do know that it was like French Creole. So that's something to consider, because a lot of my cousins here who were kin to, especially the Martins and Hairstons, they had some Haitian family members as well. So I don't know if have anybody ever seen that in their lines?
because the people we can tell you to that are Haitian, they have a Haitian group that many of us on this call
Yes.
are close to, so we can get
Oh
together with
wow.
them.
So yes, I need to get with y'all. Y'all will know a lot more.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
But before paper records, our ancestors were, of course, the libraries. Every elder was a walking archive at that time. So if anybody do want to share any kind of stories, it could be any kind of story that was passed down in your family. Y'all can share that as well.
So the neat thing, I'll share one real fast. And this is
Okay.
how it's linked out these cross lines. Many of y'all know Otis Jenkins was on the page on Facebook. Otis is my second great uncle and also double cousin and all the other stuff. Anyway, so he was always telling me the story about how he would go to visit my grandmother in Davie
Hmm.
County, who was a Hairston descendant, and she had the ability to read fire out of wounds. And
That's the same one of the same histories I have with oral histories.
yes, top part. And so I had, and of course, I never met her, but I did know a lady who was like my step grandmother in Walltown, Bellevue, I was going to see. And she was a practical nurse, educated, but she also, what they call a fire talker, we call it, and I recall getting burned and went to see her. And I was a little kid, and there was no pain. Now, was it mental or whatever? I don't know. But there's a lady who swears her son was severely burned, and Miss
Mhm.
Crawford talked the fire out of it. He had no scars, nothing. So that's one story that was passed down. I don't know where it came from Virginia, North Carolina, but that was she was a Harrison descendant.
So we that I hear that a lot here. Y'all wouldn't believe the kind of spiritual stories and all that stuff is tied to Virginia. But we're not going to go there. But what I will say is, being that you said pretty much the healer, we say here that we'll say whisper a burn off someone. That's what we say. But my grandmother used to tell stories of my third great grandmother. She actually would get picked up on black horses from these women. And mind you, my great great grandmother was her baby, and she was born in 1920s. So this was definitely, before or after that era. She would all my family was connected to New York. They would go up and down to New York, up and down to New York, up and down to New York. But what I found out was that she was a midwife. So she would leave to pretty much go make money and bring it back. My family owned over 100 acres in Pennsylvania County at one time. Due to the identity erasure, we ended up actually losing the land. But what I found out, according to Virginia law, we had a neighboring family that was near us. And according to Virginia, if they have a broken line and nobody can really prove it because of this identity erasure. And then, of course, before Jim Crow era, my third great grandfather would have been scared to even try to fight it. So they said if someone lived in close proximity to the area, and of course, Virginia was able to make some kind of money off of it. In my case, my land ended up becoming tobacco. And still to this day, I can show y'all pictures when it's in the season of tobacco, fields of tobacco, they still do it. So if it stands for 15 years and no one claims that land, then they will actually allow this family to consume that land if they could, if nobody proves if that's their land. So that was just something I thought that was cool because in oral history, it was always told that my grandfather signed some land over because he couldn't read or write, but that wasn't the case. So I was recently able to find that out for my family. Does anybody else have any oral history? Nope. All right. All right. So from oral to paper, we have census records, marriage license, death certificates, property records, church books, newspaper articles, family Bibles, ship logs, and of course, plantation records. And I'm sure that is more. But for many African American families, paper record became the first place our ancestors appeared by name. Enslaved people often weren't recorded fully. Many records were fragmented, of course. Names change, and that's kind of like what I will explain to y'all one day when the name shuffle method that I'm trying to figure out a good way to prove it to everyone. I want to come up with a method to be able to teach others or like put it into some kind of curriculum. I guess maybe that's the right word for it. But of course, families were separated. So genealogy isn't finding answers, it's solving puzzles with missing pieces. So what I have pictured here, George Rusty Hairston, I have William Martin. So at the last Zoom, do y'all remember when I was telling y'all the first like founding people who was here in Martinsville, and how plantation owners used to intertwine and marry in to get bigger land, of course, or money or anything like that for political status, social status, anything. So what you see here is a direct descendant of Joseph Martin, who Martinsville is named after. This right here, George Harrison. And as you see, all of them was Martins or Hairston. You have Samuel Hairston Martin right here. Now, on a lot of records, you only see them as either or. So it's very rare to find both of these names together. So when I was just explaining how my family and I said it on the last Zoom, how my family always said that we were not kin to the Harrisons. Well, what I found out was my fourth great grandfather, he actually dropped his name. He dropped his name. He dropped the Hairston name and kept Martin. All right. Now, what's the rarest or most interesting document that either one of you guys ever found in your lines? Anyone?
Marriage record.
I'm sorry?
The marriage, a Freedmen's
Marriage record?
Bureau with, yeah. And it was funny because on that whole screen, like it was in the catalog, they were the only ones where there were like 6 or 7 couples that made, that went to register at the time in the and at least 2 of them were Hairstons, and then my mother, they're Watkins. And I was like,
so all my family in Pennsylvania County are entwined with the Watkins. I'm a Watkins too. Like I'm a Watkins.
Okay.
Watkins.
Yes,
I love that. I love that.
And you were talking about Haiti, and one of the Watkins was in a government group that were actually sending people to Haiti.
What?
Yes, he was sending freed people to, so anyway.
This group is definitely needed.
I'm a Watkins on my mother's side.
Oh, wow.
See, and from Virginia.
Yep.
I went to Powhatan, Virginia.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
And a lot of them came over, and like mine came from Henry County, and they ended up in Rockingham County.
Okay. Now, Henry County and Rockingham County is what? They're like 25 minutes away from each other.
Yes.
Rockingham County, North Carolina is very close. Actually, no. Yes, I'm about to say I can get there in 15 minutes. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. I can get there in 15 minutes. All right. So when I first started my research, I found out that one family that I would just discover entire communities connected through marriage, migration, land ownership, churches, and oral history. So the Hairstons and allied families. So everyone is talking about all these other lines is connected with the Hairstons. But they were one of the largest interconnected family networks in the region. Connections across Virginia, North Carolina, and beyond. Records span centuries, included both documented and oral traditions. Researching one family often leads to dozens of others, which is why we come to this marriage certificate. All right, so I'm going to explain this. This is how y'all going to see that my family is very, very intertwined. Okay, so Henry Martin Hairston was a direct descendant, and this is the same grandfather that I said that he dropped the Hairston name, and we kept only the Martin coming down.
Mm-hmm.
This is my my mom's dad's my mom's paternal side. Rosabelle Preston is my mom's maternal side. So what I found out was that both of my mom's parents, their great grandparents had kids. So this was just my mother's parents, great grandparents. They had kids. And this is all the proof of it. Now, if you look down, you can see that here goes the Martins coming in again.
Oh,
intertwining again, right?
I see.
And then on This side, there go the Hairstons again. So this is, and look, here go Watkins right here. But when you start looking at all the documents, you see how intertwined all of these families were. So when I say that all my families are close related, I'm not playing. And it doesn't stop here. I could keep going, but maybe we can come back and we discuss that another time. Or maybe I can look into somebody's lines and we can do a presentation with the same thing. But this is a prime example of what I'm talking about.
G.P. Watkins is in the People's Cemetery in Martinsville.
Oh wow! See, I'm not even that far. I'm not even. And there, look at this. Here go Matthews. So you have to look at any of the witnesses and everything, as everybody is intertwined in some kind of way. Somebody could be a neighbor or just anything. That's what I'm starting to learn. Every name means something. Okay. All right. So this is the Martinsville Henry County Heritage Center. This is where I do a lot of volunteering. This is where a lot of doors opened up for me. This is actually the first time that I started transcribing documents for Liberty University. This right here is what got me back into my research. I had stopped because of this name shuffle that I kept seeing all of this. I'm like, okay, if my lines are the same lines on every single last one of my lines, why is everybody's name different? So people have to really pay attention. Somebody's last name might not be the same last name that we can see on somebody else's line. It can open up somebody else, so many other things and documents. So that's why I am trying to help with reparative genealogy. I was just asked to go to UNC. I heard that their library, or Chapel Hill's library, has thousands of records tied to the Hairstons.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited. But one of the projects that we want to do here in Martinsville is successfully naming Hairston slaves. So just some kind of maybe like plaque or statue, something like that. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all how crazy this was. My little brother got killed February 5th, 2021. And on that day, I just so happened to see Martinsville, this page post this. So I love history, but what stood out to me the most, Betsy Harris right here, that's my third great grandmother. And if we go down, but y'all see all the last names that's intertwined with this, right? So we see Harris. I can't see all of them on here. Can't see them all. But my third great grandparents is on here, which is the Harris line. I was explaining to y'all last time that the Harris line that I found was one of the only free Black families on the register. I can't remember her name, but she just spoke about it, that Beverly Milner created. So I wanted to dive some more into this. Okay. So I ended up finding this when I started transcribing documents for Liberty University when I went on their website. So as you look, Betsy Harris, that's my third great grandmother, Anthony Harris. Now, you can look at all the names. So anybody might see some. We got Peters on here, but I will tell y'all that I've also seen these same family members go from Harris to Hairston or back from, they would change their names so much. People don't realize how much hidden history or how many missing documents that they can find with reparative genealogy. Okay, so this is the register. I ended up going to the Historical Society, and they had just found Beverly Milner's papers. They had found them in one of the closets. And so they was like, oh, we should put this together. So before they put it together, I started looking, and one of the first things that I see is my same third great grandparents right here, Betsy and Anthony Harris. But I've also seen them in records to be Betsy and Anthony Hairston. But they were free, and this is 1853. So I am actually, it didn't go into it. Sorry, y'all. That's not what I wanted. Give me 1 second. I am trying to go into this. Look like when I try, I'm gonna have to go the other way. I'm gonna show y'all what the actual website looks like, just in case anybody want to go on there. Now, Liberty University has so many documents that's just now getting digitalized for the first time. Multiple counties, especially in Virginia. This is how I was able to find a lot of stuff on my family members. But I will show y'all that website in just a second. Now, do you see? Somebody spoke about Mariah. I found out that this Mariah right here is the same Mariah as Mariah Hairston, which is my children's father's grandma. So,
Oh.
yeah. So this is the same lines, and I actually could show and prove that this was a Hairston family too. I don't know why this was like this. All I can do is treat it like a court case and just act like I'm a lawyer and just show all of the documents that I found and compare it and show that it was something that happened a lot, and a lot of families really need to know more about it. All right, so this is the article they did on me. It's just the front of it, but I want to ask some questions because I didn't put anything else to it. So I want to ask y'all, how is history preserved now in the new age, in y'all's opinion? It could be digital, it could be DNA, I mean, anything. Is there any new techniques that y'all seen or anything from any universities recently? Anything like that that could tie into the modern day research?
I can only discuss what I've seen and what I'm doing. Of course, everyone's looking at different and it's all valuable. But to your point about records being destroyed, so I now do things digitally, meaning I put it on because I probably have y'all have had 25 computers in my
Mm-hmm.
lifetime, and sometimes they go bad, everything is lost. So therefore, I have had jump drives. I still have those, but you lose them. At least I do. At least me. So I start putting things now on the cloud. Like I use a lot of Google Drives and Google Docs. So I have one from my Bellevue family, one from my Harrison family, one from my McCall family. And if I'm on my phone in a airplane, say, airport in Denver, Colorado, and you say I'm a so and so, I can go on my phone to my Google Drive, my Google Docs, and pull those things up and show people or put notes in. Or if I'm at the library somewhere and see a Harrison book, I can take a picture of that. I used to print it out, and then I print out for the folder, have all these folders. I would have a picture of it and put it in my Google Doc and label it Smith Harrison. And so when I see cousins who's, I can say, "Hey, I found this in your family. You have this," and just email it right then and there. That's just me talking. But to the pictures, I also do the same thing with the pictures. I put things on Facebook with intention. I know people might steal them or whatever, but I had to come to this is my philosophy. If tomorrow a hurricane came through Forsyth County and all my pictures were destroyed in my different places I have on those pictures, I'd rather that sneaky old cousin Susan, I'm just saying that she's not thinking, Jones, who takes everybody's pictures. I am glad that she has my picture on Facebook because I can now go and find it on her page. That's just my philosophy. As opposed to me saying, oh my gosh, I kept those pictures in those books because I was scared. My cousin Susan was so sticky going, take it from me. At least she had a copy and now somebody has it. That's just my philosophy. But you know why I put things out there on Facebook and TikTok and so forth, and on Google Drive and those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
now
that's
the projects too. Like I'm thinking about the project for the Georgetown University, where people are inputting information and they're able to search for names and I want to say there's a jet match project along with that as well, and even the jet match projects, those are big and very beneficial because you're able to put your number in and compare your DNA to so many other kits across other platforms.
So, DNA. DNA is extremely important that has happened at this time because first of all, as African Americans, just trying to connect to family is, we are lucky to have all of us together. I myself, I know who I am, but you would never know who I am if I did not tell you, or if I don't do the study that I have to do and be able to publish it in a genealogical book of some sort. Because my mother and father were never married. How can I prove that that was my father? In
Right.
order for that to go on somebody else's tree, there has to be something behind it to prove it. You have to have something on paper. So I have to do a study of myself. And the way that I have to do that is I got my uncle, because my father had 12, there were 12 of them. He was one of 12. The only one living is my uncle, who turned 89 2 weeks ago. He
Mm.
tested for me. It shows that he is my uncle without a doubt. So now I have to type that up and type all the people who have known me and knew my father, have seen us together as a family, and I have pictures. So you have to document all that in order for that to become the truth for the rest of the world.
Right. Well, this is the only way I'm on this call right now is because we did a DNA test. Because if we hadn't tested, I would not have known that we were connected to Hairston's at all. My father's birth certificate had his father's name as Alonzo Harrison. So I never ever would have known there was any kind of Hairston connection.
Yeah, that definitely happened a lot. Like I said, with mine, it's the same way. And like I said, a lot of people wouldn't even know what kind of Harrison connection that they may have
Mm-hmm.
unless they look into these lines in a different kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to show y'all because we're talking about the digital. So let me see. Where did I go? Let's see. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me figure out what it said. I'm just going to start a new one. Y'all don't look at my emails. I'm just gonna type it up. 30. Sorry, y'all hum. I sang, so I hum a lot when I'm doing something.
I'm surprised Liberty University has any of this stuff.
Man, that's what a lot of people say.
They don't seem like the type.
I'm
Like,
gonna have to go to my email.
records versus like Library of Virginia or another big institution.
Mm-hmm.
As you're going to that, if any of you
Excuse
have,
my
and I know
page.
Harrison ministers will have this, Wake Forest, their archives has lots of old Black records also. Surprisingly, I was surprised by like, from the conventions and associations. There are a lot of those old booklets, and in those old booklets, sometimes there are pictures of the old ministers.
Come on. Coefficients. Okay, here you go. Maybe this page. Okay. They automated documents. And that's what they do too. Even if y'all don't want to transcribe them, it's still great to sign up for it because, of course, you have access to all these documents that's digitized, and you won't be able to find them nowhere unless you go on here. Okay. Now, how can I go to the? There we go. All right. So this is what the page looks like, and this is from Liberty University. So, like I said, they will be adding additional documents all the time. So it's mainly all the counties, the major counties in Virginia. So I'm going to just let y'all see some of these cities that's on here. Let's see, show all. Got Brunswick, Frederick County, Fredericksburg, Virginia, Isle of Wight County, London County, Norfolk. Yeah, this is really awesome. Petersburg, Rockbridge County, and then when you click on them, I mean, it's a lot. So Petersburg got 236 pages by itself. Look at this, only 3% complete. 83 pages for Rockbridge. Rockingham County,
Mhm.
38 pages. All right, they have Southampton County. Southampton got a lot. Southampton got a lot. That's three different ones, four different ones. So that's all the ones that they have right now. But on the main page, you can see the past projects. So what we're seeing right here is the projects that need to be worked on. There's multiple counties, so even Henry County and everything. Let me see, find a project. All kind of stuff on here. So they got all of this stuff digitized. So I'm just gonna show y'all everything that they have. So y'all might have a new way to go and look up some new records. I didn't even know they had California state on here. They have a lot on here. So of course, when you look Cleveland, Ohio. So they got Connecticut. They got multiple different states on here. I didn't even know this myself. So of course, let's see. Of course, when you click on one of them, it should open up and see everything we have. Yeah, so they even got diary information, letters. Oh yeah. Is there anything specific somebody would want me to look for? Or a state or anything like that?
This is interesting.
I mean, I tell you, I'll look over here all day. So it's Kentucky, Florida.
And in order to see this, you have to sign up for the project.
So you don't have to. You see, I'm not even signed in. So you can
Okay.
still see it. But in order to get emails on it all the time, just
Like
whenever
when
they
they
get,
add in or something.
they will actually email you what's been added or what county has been updated, that kind of thing.
From the page.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? I'm kind of a little short tonight, but if anybody have any questions, I would love to answer them if I can. But that's pretty much all I have for today.
Someone, Emily Davis, asked that you put the link in the chat. I was going to share that there's one called Digital North Carolina that
Mm-hmm.
has tons. I mean, you just can't imagine what they have on there. From old newspapers to old school records, I would share, and I don't. I love y'all, so I give my secrets. They have more papers on there that you will find on the newspapers.com. That cost you. It's free, but of course it's harder to search, but you can still find them. They also have the Chronicle, which is the black paper here in Minnesota, on there, which I don't. You cannot find it on a paid subscription server, and they do a lot of stuff from the 60s forward in there, obituaries and stuff that you wouldn't find otherwise. So Digital North Carolina has lots of stuff.
This is interesting. I just realized last weekend that my I'm trying to think of how many times back. I want to say my third great grandmother, Mariah Watkins, I believe was owned by Watkins in like Charlottesville, Virginia. And I want to say the name that I saw was a William Watkins. I think I'm saying it right. I think that's what it is. William Watkins, but I didn't know that they were enslaved. So that's why I was asking about the website, because I can go on there and see what information they may have there.
Yes, instead of having to go to a city or travel somewhere when you might be
Mm-hmm.
busy, you know what I mean? So this really is a huge deal. But if anybody else have any great sources, or just research sources that you found your ancestors on, anything like that, you feel free to put it in chat so
Okay.
everybody could have this. Now I put mine on here. The from the page is the link directly to Liberty University.
Now I do have a question. Has anybody come across and I don't know what it would be, like some kind of record that lists midwives? Like a
I haven't looked. I haven't went looking for it yet, but I know that with a lot of birth certificates,
yeah.
that person that's a witness is most of the time the midwife.
Okay.
Because I found one lady to be tied and a witness to a lot of the birth certificates. So I just put that together that, hey, that's the midwife.
Right. Because I was told that my great great grandmother was a midwife, and possibly my great grandmother, and then the mother Mariah. But I wanted to see if I could find some kind of document. But I do understand what you're saying with the birth certificate or certificate of delayed birth. I have seen where they list the midwife. Yeah. Okay. But I was hoping there was something that like, and it was a big hope to think that they
Oh,
would have a list of
If you
midwives.
find out, let me know.
Right.
I've never looked into it, but I do know that I've seen in the papers there was like a midwives association, like early on. I would say 20s forward, and I did see like they're having meetings or whatever, and I've been seeing pictures of them. Again, it wasn't any names that I was concerned with. I hate to say that, so I'm going to take a picture, copy of those. So maybe they have the papers. I have seen them in the papers, and like cousin Kelly was saying, I did see my little girl who's forget what it was. I should have name before on birth certificates. Of course, before they were also right before there were certificates. So there you may not find anything, but I have seen that. So maybe
Okay.
there's also a project out in North Carolina. I do remember that somebody had some kind of midwife project. I don't remember what they had in there.
And also, I just dropped my email in the chat. If anybody needs to reach out or have any questions or even have any questions on my own line, I wasn't able to see the chat while I was presenting. So please feel free to copy that, add it to y'all's contacts, and contact me. And my name is China Martin on Facebook.
Oh, I am your friend on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you are, girl. Hey, cousin. Okay.
This
Thank
is
you.
great. I'm really interested in seeing. So while you were talking, I had to check my matches to see if I had some Martins, and I do. So I'm pretty interested in seeing just how this connects. I swear this Hairston line
Do you see any Dillards?
gets crazier and crazier every time I look into it. Let me see.
So, when I tell you all my family live in this one area in Pennsylvania County, and it's still like this to this day. All my family still are there. The Watkins, the Carters, the Dillards, Martins, all live in one area.
Okay, so I do have Dillard, Camden Dillard.
My entire family, probably from the 1600s onward, on all sides, lived in either Pittsylvania County or
Yeah.
Henry County, maybe a few in Halifax County, until until like 1920. From whenever slavery started through, the period of sharecropping or whatever, they stayed in this. My parents used to say they were born within 20-mile radius of each other. And
No, really.
my brother and I happened to go down there for a reunion that one of our genealogists called about 10 years ago, and we said, this is like 10 miles. This is not 20 miles. These people lived forever together from 1600 to 1920. So we are so interrelated on every side and when they left Virginia, I said, one day they decided, well, this sharecropping thing ain't working for us. And they left Virginia and went mostly to West Virginia, but other places in the Midwest. And then when they left West Virginia, they went to Western Pennsylvania and other places in the Midwest. So to this day, if somebody dies on one side of my family, somebody else from what I consider the other side of my family calls me. And they still all know
It
each
sounds like my life.
right. Exactly. One of my great aunts on my mother's side died maybe 20 years ago, and somebody from my father's side called me. And then, you get to the funeral, and my father's people are there, and my mother's people are there, and whatever that I didn't even knew each other. I found out that only a few years ago that my one of my father's sisters had basically taken in one of my maternal cousins
Wow.
and raised him from high school, because I was wondering, why is he calling me about her funeral? But
Wow.
you know, that's how closely we related. And then when they moved like they were a tribe because they basically understood each other as a tribe from like the 1600s. When they got here, they always were around each other somehow. If they weren't Hairstons, they were, Dodsons, and the Dodsons were married into my Wallers, and my Wallers were married into my Walthalls, and vice versa. And and that's how I kind of know Christina Green because I keep running into her online, but I don't know exactly how we're related. But I think it's like on my Waller side.
Now I will tell y'all. Remember, I told you about the Waller. So the Waller man,
Who did?
George Waller. Just trying to.
Yes.
The George Waller man. He was very prominent. That was my paternal line that went straight down. So his, I want to say like third great granddaughter is my grandfather's grandmother. So
Right.
it went all the
I may
way.
not have been on when you said that, but that's what my mother's line comes from, the Wallers.
But the Wallers come from George Waller. He was the one who was here
Right.
first as the Waller man. I just want to say something. I don't know if she's still on here. Did y'all see that picture that was posted yesterday in the Hairston clan?
Yes.
So that is so historical to me because somebody said they seen, well, she said that that was her grandmother, but I'm gonna
On
tell
the
you, yeah, but I already been
I
seeing this. I've seen them
I
as
am
white.
I am still on here.
Okay, great. I've seen her as white. I've actually researched her. This is one of my, close lines. I've actually seen her as white, and I've seen her as well with multiple different last names. So, did you see that it's another guy in there in the back? He looks like he's black, but I'm going to tell y'all, I know that has to be some form of mixed Indian or something. Their hair is too shiny and straight, just like how my
Right.
great grandparents and stuff was.
Mm.
And if you look, some of those guys, I wish I had the picture ready. Some of those guys in that photo that sits beside this black woman of this Hairston plantation, they look like they would be a little darker than, So I am actually excited to look into this because I know what I've seen, and I know I've seen her listed as white. So this is great. We don't have nothing like this in Martinsville, Henry County. So that's a prime example of other lines being able to open up new things. So that's
Right.
why us preserving history is so important. That's why this digital archive that I'm wanting to do would be able to, how can we say it? Put everybody's stories together and how we connect in a better way. I've been talking to a lot of people here. I told y'all I'm ready to do plantation tours, all that kind of stuff, to where we could come out. I know y'all said that sometimes y'all do the family reunions, but maybe we can really make this a structured thing with multiple cities, multiple, plantations. So I'm actually excited about that. I got some ideas.
I agree. I think I was thinking we probably could do like research kind of thing and have that as
Yeah.
part of it's just very driven by research and the tour and plantation. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I actually will send you. I did a business proposal on this. It's kind of like an umbrella structure that will tie in. It can tie in multiple different organizations, institutions. I already got a lot of investors that's willing to actually sponsor this. So maybe all of us can get together and talk on another time. Or Spencer, I will send you some stuff here soon.
Right.
Sounds
Well,
great to me.
I recently connected Spencer to a woman named Diana Roman, who is a white descendant of the Harrison family, and we are trying to get her on. She and I are working on a book together about race in America, but she invited me to go to several plantations in southwestern Virginia a few years ago. And I basically said, if I go, I have to invite my brother or he will kill me. If
All
he
of us
finds
are
out
going.
I went without him. So we went down, both of us are graduates, my brother and I are graduates of Marshall University in West Virginia. So after homecoming one year, we met her down there in southwestern Virginia and visited like 3 plantations that are either a couple are still in the White Hairston family, and one is owned by a bank. if you have a relative buried on the property in Virginia, you can go there anytime you want. So her great grandparents were buried there, and we went there, and then we went to another cemetery and another plantation where her mother had actually grew up. But there's no cemetery there. Her mother was at another cemetery we went to near Berry Hill, which a lot of you probably are familiar with. My relatives may have been at Berry Hill. So I've seen several of these plantations, but we need to go to these places. So
I will tell you one interesting thing it's a couple things, but anyway, this one particular thing that has thrown me for a loop, and I don't know what to do about it. I found my grandfather's will, and I read through it, and it lists all the children that I know that he had, which included my great grandfather's will. So it lists all the children I knew that he had, including my grandfather. But as the wife, it says Ruth Hairston. And so I asked my grandfather's sister, who was the only one living in that generation, and I said, well, Aunt Helen, who is Ruth Hairston? She said, I don't know who that is. I said, well, she's listed as your father's wife on his will. She said, I don't know who that is. My mother was Jeanette. I said, oh my gosh. So I have no idea what is happening. And I've even seen Ruth on some of the his children's birth certificates. So I'm like, is her name Ruth Jeanette? Is her name Jeanette Ruth? And she's, they alternate between names. I have no idea. And I don't even know how to figure it out. But I found that to be a challenge for me.
So what you might could do is do a timeline of the children's births and then list the source. Like say, this child, Spencer, number one, mother is per this document, born this year. Number two,
Okay.
and then that will help you see if it's the same person, if they both live as a wife, or maybe he had another, maybe he had a second wife that that happened that no one liked her for 2 years and he died. Because I've seen
Right.
that same thing happen to some Hairstons here in town who are my cousins, and they have to do a history. And I did it, and I used the sources. And they're like, we didn't know about that. I said, I'm not telling you what I said, here's the record. I just said, y'all think what y'all think. I did all
Right.
this. I said, here's the marriage record. You see his parents, see what witnesses were? And
Right.
they said, oh, well, I guess we did.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't help that I don't have any oral history. So there's nobody else for me to talk to that I know of. I'm still trying to find those people, the other people that may be old enough to know something that could possibly give me information. Yeah. So if anybody knows, while we're all here, if anybody remembers a Peter Rabbit from Walnut Cove, that would be my grandfather's brother. If you know any information about that family, I would greatly appreciate it.
Can I share a story real fast?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is why oral history is so important. I told this to Cousin Sheena a while back. I have a relative who is my mom's oldest living relative. And he's in Houston, Texas, a very great historian. And so one day he said, I'm gonna use a different. He said, yeah, cousin so and so, her daddy was a man named Peter Rabbit.
Right, right.
And so I told Christine that once I quite forgotten. And he's from up there in Wild Stokes County, and we're in Forsyth County. And so he didn't know. I told this last. He laughed. I said, for the past 15 years, whenever I call you and you say something, I've been writing down notes. And he said, what? I said, but now I use my phone. I put it in my Google Docs. He just started laughing. And so when Christina mentioned one time she never forgot this on a clubhouse, the name Peter Rabbit, I literally was in my chair and I just stood up. I said, oh. And he mentioned all kinds of, so it's just amazing how that's why oral history can be so important about things. And so cousin Clara's family, they were very like church going, affluent. I shared a video link in there, and you will see a picture of a man named Wash Freeze, who after slavery owned all this property. That's cousin Clara's uh, grandfather. She had all those pictures. So that's why history is just listen to people because you never know who knows what.
Right.
Okay. Do we have people on here who are certified genealogists?
I'm working on it.
All right, well, Jody, keep in touch with me.
What do you
Please.
mean by certified? Are you talking about the BCG or something else?
I don't know what BCG means, but
The board certification.
I guess that's what I mean. But this book that I'm working on, I need to. I mean, I know a lot about my genealogy, but I need to be able to verify it. And I'm working with the white woman, Diana Roman, and we need to verify and compare our genealogies, and in a way that would persuade the publisher to act that we know what the hell we're talking about, basically, and to be able to put that out there in the world. I know some things about my genealogy that I've gotten from other people, but I have not verified it myself. I don't know if my genealogy is what I have read. I am a direct descendant of the first Peter, the immigrant Hairston, who set foot in this soil, as is my brother. This woman I'm working with probably is too.
I have a reparative genealogist that we're actually working with out of Greensboro, North Carolina. She's been helping. She's licensed and all that good stuff. I could send you her information, and also the Virginia archivist for all the areas around here. So that's Pennsylvania County, that's Leatherwood, that's Reed Creek, Horse Pasture. I mean Danville. I mean, he even know Rockingham County and all of that. He actually can help verify a lot of stuff as well. Maybe I can get, he's a little shy, but maybe I could get him to come on and talk one day, because all y'all have to do is ask him a question and he would tell you. Like, tell y'all exactly where your family is located in the cemetery, who connects, all of that.
Right. We are mostly from Horse Pasture, but what I found online one time, one of the first times I tried to look up my great grandmother, that I clicked on something like about 2:00 in the morning, and it showed a line straight up to the first Peter Hairston or whatever who landed here. And mostly I've never been able to find it since.
So they may have came from Magna Vista Plantation. A lot of people don't know about Magna Vista Plantation.
I don't know about Magna.
So we know a lot of stuff, like a lot of slave houses and stuff that's here that's not really on record. So a lot of Hairston descendants didn't document. So the Martinsville Plantation, I'm gonna say not Martinsville. Magna Vista Plantation is in Horse Pasture.
Yeah,
but Horse Pasture is considered to be Henry County now.
Right. Most of my relatives' births, as I see them now, are from Horse Pasture.
And now, see, Horse Pasture. Okay, all of that is now Henry County.
Right.
So Horse Pasture is only I told y'all, is everything's 5-10 minutes apart, but we consider all of it to be one area now. So if y'all come here, literally, that would be a whole. We can do a whole weekend where, a whole thing, and it'd be easy, and nobody would have to travel out too far once they get to this area.
Right. Well, I need a source that nobody would question that they had this credentials, etc., to be quoted in a book.
I can give you. I could try if you send me a message or something like that. I could give you the emails and phone numbers to this reparative genealogist and the Virginia archivist.
Okay.
What's the name of the Virginia archivist?
His name is Desmond Kendrick.
Okay. I was thinking about somebody that was on Clubhouse with us. Spencer, what was his name? That was, I want to say he worked at the Virginia Historical Society. Spencer might be. Spencer.
He said, y'all talking too much.
I couldn't find my microphone thing. Well, let me go. But no, I found his name. I know who you're talking about, but I'll find out also.
All right. What was his name again?
His name was Desmond Kendrick.
Okay, my pen wasn't working then, but by the time
And
I
he
got
actually has a museum in Martinsville. Like we have 8 museums here in Martinsville,
really,
and or Martinsville or Henry County. And his museum's the smallest one, but it's my favorite. It's the most information. So he's like us. He just started looking at all his family stuff. He actually, the last woman who lived at the Beaver Creek plantation. I cannot remember her name, but she was the last direct descendant. He actually used to get babysitted by her. So he knows a lot of history tied with the Hairstons. I mean, a lot.
yeah. Well, I went to Beaver Creek.
So maybe we can get together and do a plan of fall. I don't want to do anything around National Hairston Reunion because I don't get nobody. I'm not a fighter, y'all, so I don't get anybody mad at us because that's one of those things that people have as a holy, great thing they have going on. But maybe like in late fall when it's still nice in the area and it's cooler too, so you don't mind being outside, walking to cemeteries. We can do a Harrison in that area. That'd be great for all of us. Even maybe try to go to Soaps County. That'd be a great time. You just start planning that now for maybe late fall before. Of course, only be being fall is homecoming season for many people, but beyond that, it'd be a great time to do that.
That sounds good.
This has been a great. This has been a
Sounds
great
great.
conversation. Anyone have any questions or comments or and we want everyone to come and share. China has done a great job, and thank you, China. She is an amazing resource for Henry County, Virginia. We found some people in Mississippi who say they don't mind sharing. They kind of they're want to fill us out, but this is their first time too. But we welcome anyone to come and share on a Sunday Zoom. We all learn together. I laugh because one thing I tell people all the time is you will learn so much by not just doing your own direct line. Some of my cousins told me how their ancestors came to come to high school here in town on a college campus. It was so crazy that my aunt, my dad's, who's not well, she found out she is a Harrison, but I'm on here because of my mom's family. That she said, "Oh yeah, I went to school." I said, "Where was the school located?" On the college camp, up there on the campus. And I mean, this is amazing things you will find out. And then I begin to dig some more, so you'll find out a lot more about that, which is amazing. But anyway, by just looking at other things that you don't know, what you'll find out. But any more conversations, questions, comments? Again, thank you to China. And we'll close out. If Cousin Leela is still here, how about do a closing prayer for us? And Cousin Joanne has some closing comments first from Cousin Joanne. And then we'll let Cousin Leela do a closing prayer for us if she's here. If not, we'll ask anyone wants to do it for us to do it for us.
Okay. I'm supposed to start now, Spencer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good evening. So, as we close this Juneteenth gathering, let us remember that freedom is not only something that our ancestors received, it is something they preserved and something that we are called to preserve as well. For generations, the stories of the enslaved, the freedmen, and the families they built survived because someone remembered. We talked about that earlier. A grandmother told a story, an elder saved a photograph, a cousin recorded a name in the family Bible, a historian searched a courthouse, a genealogist followed a trail to faded records. The work of the Hairston family historians is sacred work. Every document we preserve, every ancestor we identify, every story we rescue from obscurity restores a piece of the human dignity that slavery attempted to erase. We honor not only the prominent and powerful, but also the mothers, the fathers, the laborers, teachers, ministers, soldiers, and children whose names might otherwise be forgotten. Juneteenth reminds us that freedom gave our ancestors the opportunity to build a future. Our responsibility is to ensure that the future generations know how that future was built. The psalmist declared, "One generation shall praise thy work, so to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts." Tonight we've done exactly that. May we continue telling the stories. May we continue to preserving the records. May we continue honoring both the enslaved and the freedmen who transformed hardship into hope and hope into legacy. Their work made us possible. Our work ensures they will never be forgotten. Happy Juneteenth, Hairston family. May God bless you, and may God bless the memory of those who came before us. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we are prayer, Cousin Timothy Richardson, he is a researcher from North Carolina. He may not be a Harrison. I don't know if he is or not, but once people find out they are, I want to thank him for being here. He does some great work on TikTok. If you're ever on TikTok, he does these nightly walks and just shares family history and his information. So I don't know if he wants to say anything, but he is always here. And thank you for coming also. And all those of you who come on time. People always, it's amazing who's watching us. People say, y'all are lucky. Y'all's, the Hairstones get together. We could do that. So we really are blessed to have this forum. And because of you all, we thank you. We'll now close with prayer. Is Cousin Leela here? She made a leave. If not, I'm going to ask Cousin Eleanor if she doesn't mind giving us one of her eloquent prayers again to close us out. And thank you, Cousin Eleanor.
All right, I certainly can. And it certainly has been great listening to everybody's response to what Jonna was saying. Great presentation. And we're all always thrilled to learn more. And it just, it just fills me up to realize what our people went through and how we're still here. So let's go to God in prayer. Most wise Heavenly Father, we come again and we just want to say thank you. We are filled, we are rich with this history. We know that you brought our people across the way. And we just don't know how to say thank you, but we know that you are the awesome God who has seen to them and are seeing to us now. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the participants who share this same desire to learn, to know, and that will bind us together. Be with us as we go forward to learn more and guide us in our daily lives that we may do your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank y'all so much. Have a great week.
Mhm.
Thank
Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
You
you.
too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night, family.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye.